Listen, sweetheart. Economy class is at the back. This seat isn't for people like you. The businessman snarled, his diamond cufflinks catching the light as he pointed dismissively toward Coach Sarah. Mitchell barely looked up from her phone. She just settled into seat 2A. A flight headed to Washington. Another quiet trip. Another day with her past kept hidden. She smoothed her navy tank top and slowly raised her green eyes to meet his. A man in an expensive Italian suit towered over her, whiskey in hand, tapping his boarding pass with impatience. Everything about him screamed corporate arrogance. Someone who enjoyed making others feel small. I'm in the right seat, Sarah said calmly, her voice remarkably steady. The man laughed loudly. Did you hear that? He announced to passengers nearby. Look, Princess, I don't know how you slipped into first class, but this is for paying customers. I'm a platinum member. Seat 2A is always mine. Sarah pulled out her boarding pass. It clearly showed to A. He snatched it, examined it, then tossed it back like it was trash. System error. Now move before I call security. The cabin went silent. Sarah tucked the ticket back into her pocket. She didn't move an inch. I suggest you find your actual seat, sir, she said softly. His face turned red with anger. He slammed the overhead bin. Flight attendant. Maria, a senior attendant, hurried over. Mr. Davidson, what seems to be the issue? This woman stole my seat. Maria looked at Saryang, athletic, in casual clothes. Then she looked at David Sinnell, a customer, designer suit. Her bias was obvious. Miss, may I see your boarding pass? She asked, tone condescending. After checking it, Maria forced a tight smile. Are you traveling with someone? A husband, maybe? Sometimes the system upgrades the wrong person. Sarah's jaw tightened. I'm traveling alone. And this is my seat. Davidson checked his Rolex dramatically. Maria, we leave in 8 minutes. Move her to coach, Miss Maria insisted. There's been a mistake. Mr. Davidson is our highest tier member. We'll find you another seat and process a refund. No, Sarah said simply. I'm not moving. Davidson leaned down, grabbed Sarah's bag strap. Get up, or I'll drag you up. The moment he touched her property, everything changed. Sarah's posture shifted calm to controlled power, like a spring ready to release. The tank top stretched across her shoulders, revealing a glimpse of defined muscle along her back. Release it, she said. Not a request, a command? Maria, panicking now, grabbed the phone. Captain, we have a situation passenger refusing to move. The cockpit door opened. Captain Morrison stepped out. Silver hair, hard eyes. A man who'd spent decades flying people and problems from one coast to the other. What's happening? He demanded. She stole my seat and threatened me. Davidson snapped. Morrison walked closer to Sarah. Miss, on my aircraft, we follow instructions. If the crew asks you to, then he froze mid-dash sentence. Sarah shifted slightly. The sunlight from the doorway hit her right shoulder blade. There, partially visible above the tank top strap, was a Tatooine eagle, a dagger, and a set of numbers. Morrison went pale. He knew that insignia. Special operations. Not standard. Modified. Only a few people in the world earned that mark, your name. Morrison asked quietly. Sarah Mitchell. Morrison's throat tightened. He knew that name. The Kabul embassy extraction. The convoy fire rescue. The classified missions whispered in military circles. He turned to Maria. Bring me the manifest. There she was. Department of Defense, Priority 1, Master Sergeant Sarah Mitchell. Distinguished Service Cross citation. Pending. Morrison faced Davidson with cold disgust. You want her removed? She's disruptive, Davidson snapped. Probably some military girlfriend? This passenger, Morrison announced loudly, is not anyone's girlfriend. She's sacrificed more for your freedom than you'll accomplish in 20 lifetimes. He lifted his radio. Ground control, United 7721. Security requested. Military police needed immediately. Davidson smirked. Finally. Get her out. They're not coming for her, Morrison said. Minutes later, 3 black SUVs pulled onto the tarmac. An Air Force colonel stormed in with MPs. "Where is she?" he demanded, marching straight to Sarah. He pushed Davidson aside like debris. The colonel snapped a salute, so sharp half the cabin flinched. "Master Sergeant Mitchell, I heard there was a problem. Minor confusion, Colonel." "This gentleman thought I had the wrong seat." The colonel turned to Davidson, who was turning ghost white. "You tried to remove Master Sergeant Sarah Mitchell? Tier 1 Special Operations? First woman to pass selection? 3 bronze stars. Survived the Kabul fires. Pulled 4 operators out under live fire. Presidential commendation pending." Davidson stuttered. I didn't know." "Ignorance," the colonel said, "is not an excuse for disrespect," Morrison added. "The Master Sergeant will remain in first class. Mr. Davidson will not." "Remove him," the colonel ordered. As the MPs escorted Davidson out, the entire plane began to applaud. A wave of respect rolled through the cabin. Sarah remained seated, calm as ever. After takeoff, Maria returned with champagne, hands shaking. "Sergeant, I'm so sorry. I judged you." Sarah accepted the glass. "Principles matter, and rules apply to everyone. Loud voices don't make someone right." She turned to the window, touching the hidden tattoo quietly. Heroism wasn't in ink. It was in actions, in sacrifice, in standing your ground when it mattered. When the plane landed, Sarah waited for others to leave, then disappeared into the terminal. Just another traveler in a Navy tank top. No. One knew the history she carried, just the way she liked it at the end of the story. A soft reminder appeared, a signature from the place where stories like hers live. The best part came a year later, when the new HOA, run by reasonable people, introduced a new rule. No board member could abuse authority or harass residents without immediate removal. They also added community programs to keep neighbors connected, so situations like this would never happen again. One afternoon, Emily and I walked past the same park where the incident happened. She stopped, took a deep breath, and said, "I'm okay now, Dad." She didn't win. And in that moment, I realized that despite everything, we came out stronger. Karen tried to break us, but instead she destroyed her own kingdom of control. Today, new families move in. They hear the story of the HOA tyrant who crossed the line and paid the price. And they hear about the girl who stood up for herself and the father who refused to stay silent. Because sometimes, justice doesn't come quietly. It comes with witnesses, courage, and a community finally ready to say enough. And that is how Karen learned the hard way that you can't force someone to like you. You can't control the neighborhood. And you definitely can't lay a hand on someone else's child. In the end, she paid for everything she did. And we finally got the peace we deserved.